Hi everybody, this is AC Mims again, and for my second vlog, I thought that I would talk about my hair routine. I keep getting a lot of questions and text messages and comments about what do I do to my hair, and I've been referring people to the Max Hydration Method website, but still people want to know what my particular routine is, and so I thought I would just do a brief video to show you how I maintain my hair. As you see, it's pretty dry and puffy right now, and today is a day for me to start doing the next cycle of it. Now, some of you might be wondering, what in the world does this have to do with my blog, and what does this have to do with living an authentic life? Well, part of self-care is how you maintain yourself both physically and emotionally. So for me, just the little things about putting on makeup every day, which is important to me, doing my hair and caring about my physical appearance is part of my self-care and part of how I live an authentic life. So take a look and I will be able to show you some tips. Oh, just a quick disclaimer, I am not being paid or sponsored in any kind of way for this video. This is not a process or method that I've created. Again, this is coming from www.maxhydrationmethod.com, and all of the products that I'm using today are simply just the ones that are my personal preference. I'm not being sponsored or paid in any kind of way for this. So thank you, and take a look, and don't forget to like my video, don't forget to share, and leave comments. Thank you. So the first step of this process is to do a clarifying rinse with apple cider vinegar. Now, my forewarning is that this is a really messy process, and so messy both all over my bathroom and also all over me, so that's why I have on my ratty tank top here. But that's what it is. So for the first step, I've mixed in this water bottle, it's equal parts apple cider vinegar and water. I'm not really into a whole bunch of expensive stuff, so I'm just using some basic apple cider vinegar from Great Value, Walmart. And I also added some lavender from a little sample that I got when I went to the blogger conference. I wish I remember who it was that gave me the sample because I would give you a shout out. But the lavender is supposed to promote shedding or not shedding or something like that. Anyway, it just also makes it smell really good. So for this first step, all I'm going to do, like I said, is I mix equal parts water, apple cider vinegar, and a few drops of lavender. And then I'm going to section my hair. Oh my gosh, it is so dry. I'm going to section my hair and then spray and saturate each section and finger comb each section with the apple cider vinegar. So as you see, I'm just spraying, finger detangling, making sure I massage my scalp really well, spraying. And I suggest that when you do this step, you have some music going or something, because this whole process can be kind of labor intensive. In all honesty, it takes me a couple hours to go through all 5 steps. But every single time I do it, and I think this is like either my 4th or 5th cycle of doing it, it goes by so much faster each step. So this first section, again, I'm just going to do some spraying and finger detangling. And as you can already tell that my hair was really dried and shrunken up. And you can tell by how now that I'm doing this step, it's starting to stretch out a little bit. And I'm just going to do this until I get my entire head saturated with this mixture. So as you can see, my hair is soaked and lightly finger detangled with the apple cider vinegar mixture. And all I'm going to do at this point is, because my hair is kind of long at this now, is I just throw it up in a clip. It's going to look like this. And put a plastic cap on it. Now I'm going to be real, and I know many of my natural sisters do the same thing, that we use those Walmart bags and Target bags. Before my vlog, I had to be cute and use a real plastic cap. And then all I'm going to do at this point is just put a headscarf on. Put the headscarf on. And I'm going to leave this mixture in for about 15 minutes or so, and then rinse it out. So I'll be back. All right, so I just rinsed off the apple cider vinegar rinse. It actually left it in for about 30 minutes because I had a great phone call from one of my really, really good friends. And so it was a perfect way for me to spend the time and rinsed it off. And now you can see what my hair looks like now. So now I'm going to move on to the second step, which is doing a deep conditioner. Now, so one thing that's a little bit different on this method of doing a deep conditioner than you might normally do is that this is a very diluted conditioner. So the first thing that I do is I have an applicator bottle and I filled it with about 6 ounces of really hot water because I'm going to do the rush method of a deep conditioner. And then I filled it with about 1.5 to 2 ounces of this Tresemme Naturals. The max hydration method recommends using this and other types of conditioners because it's paraben free, it's silicone free, it's really natural, and this is truly one of my holy grail products. My hair absolutely loves this, summer, winter, regardless. Love this stuff, and it's really, really cheap. So a bottle this size, which is about 25 ounces, cost me maybe $3. You really can't beat that, especially as much as I go through conditioner. So all I'm going to do is very similar to the last step. I have the diluted conditioner. I've given it a nice shake, and I am going to also put this in section by section of my hair. So let me just give you a quick look about what the first way looks. That was my phone reminding me to write in my grateful journal. So just squirt, squirt, squirt. Paying attention to the ends and finger comb it through. I'm going to do this on my whole head. And so this is what it looks like with the diluted conditioner. I'm going to do this to my whole head, turn back on the show that I was watching to keep me company as I go through. And this application process for me now for this step will take about 10-15 minutes. Okay, so I finished putting in the diluted conditioner. A couple of things that are really important. If you notice, I use really small sections, and the reason why I do that and I finger comb is because I want to make sure that, there go my child again, that the product is getting on each of the strands of my hair. So sometimes you're tempted to rush through this, but I really, really suggest that you take your time and go section by section and finger comb your hair also, because that helps to get all the product all the way through. It helps to detangle your hair, and it just makes it for a healthier and more sincere, and I don't know what I'm talking about, more sincere, but a more a process that everything is done the way it's supposed to, and your hair comes out really uniform and awesome. So just like before, I'm going to go ahead and now that I finish this step, I'm going to go ahead and stick it in my clip and put on my shower cap again. And then tied up in my scarf. Since this is a deep conditioning process, you really can let this sit for as long as you like it. Some people do overnight, and frankly, I just don't have that kind of time to let it do overnight. So I'm probably going to let it sit on here for about 30-45 minutes. I did use warm water to mix my conditioner, so that'll help penetrate the hair shaft. I might also go ahead and find one of my winter caps to throw on, just again to use my body heat to heat up this part, just because I also don't feel like breaking out my my hooded dryer. But those are all options that you can do just to accelerate the deep conditioning process. So I will do that, and then I'll be back for step 3, which is going to be the very messy clay rinse. Okay, so now my deep conditioning step is done, and I'm about to get to the best yet messiest stage of this max hydration method. So before I do that, one question I have gotten from a lot of people is, do I feel a difference in my hair? And I say, definitely it is. Like, even though it's only the second step completed, my hair is already so much softer. You can see that I have a pretty well-defined curl pattern. This is without any product in my hair. And then also my hair just feels so much softer, and it feels like there's not a lot of dryness or buildup. So that's a huge benefit of this method. So for this next stage, which is a green clay rinse, these are the products that I use. I use this Indian Healing Clay, bentonite clay. I use some raw honey. And the original recipe calls for olive oil, but because it's wintertime, I've been using this Jamaican black castor oil just a little bit. And so here are my ingredients. I have one of my old olive oil bottles because this is what I used to mix it in. And I fill it up. I don't use measurements because the measurements that were on the website didn't really work well for me, and it caused a huge, huge mess. So for this stage, I fill up the bottle. You see how much I fill up the bottle. I put in about 2 tablespoons of honey, about a tablespoon of black castor oil. And then for the clay, I have learned that I need to use a paper funnel. And I put in only about 3 to 4 tablespoons, and then I shake it up. I have tried everything for this step, and I can tell you all of what doesn't work. What doesn't work is using half and half water and half clay. That does not work. It just makes it super lumpy, and it doesn't mix well, and it just causes a huge explosion in your bathroom. What also doesn't mix well is trying to put in the clay first and then adding the water, because it tends to clump up in the bottom of whatever container you're using, and that is just another nightmare, and you'll be cleaning up clay for days. Something else that doesn't work is using a bottle with too narrow of an opening, so that's why I'm not using those conditioner applicators that you saw before, because it just, again, didn't allow a lot of space for the mixture. Stirring, it didn't work, so I found that something that I can shake works a lot better. And then also, this very interesting thing happens when you shake. It causes gas to form in the top of the bottle, so you need to have something that's going to let the gas escape. So whether that's loosening the top, or I drilled a small little hole just to aerate it a little bit better, those are the things that really make a big difference. So put those things inside. Again, I used warm water. I put about 4 tablespoons of the powder clay, about 2 tablespoons of honey, a tablespoon of the black castor oil. Shake it up, and this is the consistency that I have. And you'll see what it looks like on my hair. So once again, going through the same familiar steps. The conditioner is rinsed out of my hair. I have chosen a very small section of my hair. Now, my hair pattern in the back is fairly thin, so when I make a small section, it is actually less hair for the amount of area that I'm covering. And then my hair texture changes in the center, and I use a thinner width of hair because the hair is just thicker there. Using my trusty old clips. And this is where it gets really, really tricky. I've tried, again, like I said, every kind of method to try to shake this and apply it into my hair. And the only thing that really seems to work fairly well is me literally taking some in my hand. Let's see if you can see it here. And then carefully distributing it into my hair. It is going to make a pretty big mess. So if any of you all have any methods that work better, please chime in and let me know, because I haven't figured out one yet. What I do know is that I can tell when it's all the way in, because my curls are a lot more elongated, and then over time you'll start to see the build up of the green clay color and texture in your hair. I can see for this one, I probably need to add a little bit more clay, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's all done. So I'm done putting the clay rinse in my hair, and as you can see, you can actually see the greenish color tint to my hair now that the rinse is in. You also notice that you can see the individual curls that I have, or the individual coils, whatever you want to call it, and I have not slabbed it through like a giant block of clay, that it's really just and put in my hair so that my curls can start to clump together. And pretty much this is what my hair is going to look like after I finish rinsing it. And I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. Before I do that, let me just tell you some of the benefits that I've been noticing now that this is my fifth cycle of doing the max hydration method. My hair is so ridiculously soft, it's not even funny. Even with putting in this part three or this step three, it's almost so soft that I feel like I'm going to stretch it off or break it somehow. Not because it's fragile, but just because it's like baby soft, and you can even see how my texture just looks a little bit different from that intro video, and how it just feels super moisturized. This is actually my favorite step because my hair is just going to be so soft when I rinse it off. Another thing I've noticed since this is my fifth cycle is that my hair sheds a lot less when I do each of the finger combing parts. Like, I'm literally getting just a few strands at a time. It's not a whole lot like it was the very first time. The first time I did it, it was ridiculous. Um, and so I'm going to do the same thing, and I have all my little buzzers going on right now. I'm going to put my plastic bag on, I'm going to put a headscarf on, and that's going to be what I do. Be back in about 15 minutes. Well, I'm almost down to the home stretch. I'm on step 4 or 5, and these next two steps combined are going to take about 15 minutes. So all I'm going to do is, for step 5, I'm going to add my leave-in conditioner. For this step, what that means is that I have to do about 4 ounces of water and 1 ounce of a leave-in conditioner. And for that, I choose the As I Am leave-in conditioner. This stuff is the truth. I really, really love this product. I'm not usually one to use a whole product line, but for this one, I consistently use their buttercream and their leave-in conditioner because it's really, really good. Not only does it smell good, but it does exactly what it says it's going to do, and I love it. So, yeah, that's about it for this step. So I'm going to come back and do that. Let me just show you what my hair is looking like so far. After the first 3 steps, this is what my natural hair looks like. Again, it's a little damp and it has no product in it. Okay, YouTube and my wonderful bloggers. That was my cousin in the background. Say hi to the soldier. We are now at the final step. I have applied my leave-in conditioner, and now I am doing the the last step. It's been so long. I started this almost like 3 hours ago, so you can imagine how long of a day it's been. But anyway, the last step is to apply a botanical gel. And for this, I'm using the Beautiful Curls. Love this stuff. It's a newfound find that I got from Whole Foods, but it's called Beautiful Curls Wavy to Curly Shea Butter Curl Defining Gel. And I use just a little bit. So on each section of my hair, and for this part, I use a slightly bigger section. I might use this amount of gel. So that's it. I'm going to apply it to each section and then show you how it is. Okay, so now this is the final result of my hair. And as you see, it's still pretty damp, but it's definitely defined and clumped. And that's pretty much it. Since it's damp and it's pretty late now, I'm going to be going to bed in the next couple hours. So what I will do is I will either pull it back in a very loose ponytail like this and sleep with my satin bonnet, or I will do a high ponytail on the top of my hair, as they call it, pineappling, and then put a headscarf on. And then in the morning, I just literally just fluff it out like that and keep it moving. The directions on the Max Hydration Method website say for you to do this every 3 days for a total of 7 cycles. But honestly, because it's so time consuming, I haven't had an opportunity to do it every 3 days. So I do it about once a week, once every 5 to 7 days. And that's just what I have the bandwidth for, because I'm not going to be spending 3 hours for my hair. One thing to be aware of is, as you start to get to the 5th cycles, that you'll notice that your hair is very elastic, and that's because it is the hydration is maximizing in your hair, and it's very, very moisturized. So you want to be careful and not to put tight ponytails or to do anything really damaging to your hair, because it can pull and snap fairly easy because it is so extra moisturized. Your hair will be really soft, and I personally love it. And even though it's the winter time, my hair is just thriving under this. So this is my steps, and this is what I do. And I will put a couple of pictures at the end so you can see my progress from before I started this process to after the 2nd or 3rd cycles. And then you see the end product now. And this is my I can't call it my wash and go because it was definitely more than just washing and going. But these are all my steps to having my hair and to make me feel good and to look cute. So thank you guys for bearing with me, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening and that you stay moisturized and you stay liberated.